Guys, I just feel really impressed that I needed to talk to y'all about something that kind of got to me today. And it was triggered. It was really such a mundane trigger that a lot of people probably would just be like, why would that even bother you? Like, it's just an everyday thing that happens. But it really, it set me on a cycle, and so I just wanted to share it with you here for a second. And that's, I was sitting at a traffic light, and there's a piece of trash in the road. Like, there's always trash everywhere because we don't know how to pick up after ourselves. But how I was raised is that if you see something that bothers you, then you do something about it. Like, I think my favorite phrase growing up was be the change that you want to see. And that's something that I've always really tried to live my life around, is I want to be that change. However, in this particular instance, I was just struck by, I can't go and be that change because I don't trust other people enough not to hit me. And I just had this, like, epiphany, like, that is a big part of why I don't do a lot of things, is I don't trust other people not to screw me over. And I don't know, I've been kind of nihilistic lately, and I like to at least stay realistic and not pessimistic. But when I read articles like I did last night, as far as the whole thing where lunches, like the lunch debt needing to be paid off, and the story developing to where there are other people willing to pay off the debt for these school lunches for these kids who can't afford to pay back their school lunch debt, and the school's like, no, it has to be from the family type thing. Like, they're turning down the money and they're threatening to have the kids removed from the home if the family doesn't pay for it. And that's just ridiculous to me. Why would you go and tear apart a family? Why would you go and ruin this child's, I want to say life, because I know how messing up a childhood can really mess up your adulthood. PTSD, it can mess you up really bad. But at least just totally wrecking their childhood by ripping them away from their home, ripping them away from their family and their support system, because they didn't pay for a lunch that they couldn't afford to repay that. And that's just so stupid. And, like, I don't understand people. Why is anyone so heartless that they would even suggest it, let alone legitimately threaten and follow through with such straight up hateful, like, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's hateful. And not, the fact that there are people willing to help and they're just like, nah, you're not allowed to help. That is so wrong. And I know that it's already got a lot of social media against it, but there's so many things that happen like that everywhere all the time, and I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of hearing stories about why are people trash. I'm extrovert by nature, but I've really started to become an introvert by situation, because I don't want to deal with that kind of negativity in my personal life, let alone knowing that there are children out there that are facing these things. That's not something that a child should have to deal with, for one. Period. End of sentence. A child should not have to deal with that kind of pressure. And because number one, like, if it was me, that is like, oh, you're going to get taken away from your family because you decided that you were going to eat. Hello? No. That is not a good message to be sending the children, let alone the fact that their education doesn't matter because they're not going to be able to focus in school because of all this. And anyway, that's enough of that rant. I want to be the change that I want to see in the world, and I want to offer that hope to people and show people that it's possible to be a good person. But sometimes, a lot of times, it's really hard. Like, I want to be able to go and pick up that piece of trash that's blowing in the wind so that it doesn't damage the environment more than it already is going to because it was a piece of plastic. I don't even, like, get too worked up on the straw stuff, but it still shouldn't be blowing around everywhere for... It should be able to be contained at least. And the amount of trash and filth that we produce as a society is a total different thing, and I just don't even know where to start with a lot of the stuff that I want to be able to help with. And I can do stuff on a personal level. When I had a house, like, we had a compost bin, we only took trash out maybe once a month, and almost everything was recycled, and we reused it, we repurposed everything until it got too nasty, or I just ran out of ideas of what to do with it. But we really work hard on trying to not be so wasteful, and there's so many things. Like I said, it got me on this whole cycle, and I really didn't want to start my day like this, because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already like, the world, why? And it's not a great place to start, so I'm going to try and take a deep breath, reset, because I got to be in service mode. I've got a 12-hour shift that I'm starting right now, and that ain't a way to start a 12-hour shift in a service job. So I'll try and listen to my music while I go shop for people so that I can be happy when I deliver their groceries for them. But I don't know. I want to hear what y'all have to think about this. Is what change do you want to, like, help perpetuate, but you're kind of held back by that fear? Whether that's fear of rejection or just fear of getting thrown under the bus, what have you. Just I want to kind of see what y'all are passionate about and feel like maybe I'm not so alone as far as this whole, like, I want to be a change, but I feel stuck. So, get that camaraderie going. So, until next week, we'll see you later, strangers.